Hey y'all, what's shaking? Welcome to the Rising Phoenix Tribe. On this channel, we overcome life's obstacles and come out on the other side smarter, stronger, and more powerful. What's shaking? I'm your girl, Soul Sister Shelly, and this is the Soul Sister Shelly Show. So, today, I'm going to talk to y'all about change. Change. How do we come back smarter, stronger, and more powerful? It's knowing how to handle change. There's one thing in life that I know. One thing I know for sure. You may have heard this, but the one thing in life that's constant, yeah, you guessed it, change. The one thing in life that is constant. So, I am going to try to break down for you all how to get through change. And I'm going to give you 3 practical tips on that. But before I get started, if this video adds value to your life, please make sure you like it and share it with someone. Sharing is caring. All right, so let's start with the morning mantra. I'm here on beautiful Kentucky Lake, and it is about 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And I was walking around knocking down cobwebs at the marina, and I started saying, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. I apologize for that banging in the background. They're over there at another campground. They're making some changes. They're making some changes, so I apologize, but I'm still going to record this video, and I'm not going to do a dozen takes of it. I'm doing one, just one. All right, so here's your morning mantra from Miss Shelley. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Write that down, fam. It's a wasp. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Now, that's the serenity prayer. It goes on to say the wisdom to change the things I can and the courage to know the difference. Oh, wait, I said it wrong. God grant me the serenity. See, I'm not going to do another take. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. So we're not going to talk about those other 2 parts. You just need to write down your morning mantra on this Friday is God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. All right? And every morning, you all, I have devotionals, and I've got a couple of them. Oh, here's the other one. This is a really good one. Joyce Meyer, Power Thoughts. I've used this so much that's like, look, another wasp. It's like it's falling apart. Been reading it for years. I got it in, looks like 2020. Got it in 2020 from my mother. Anywho, but today I was thinking about change and how it's the only thing that's constant. And then I got in this devotional called Jesus Calling for the day. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but today is June 7th. June 7th. And in the beginning it says, I am all around you. I concur. Look how beautiful. God says, I am all around you. And he's talking about being aware of his presence. And then it goes on to say, however, worry is a form of unbelief. Who is in charge of your life? If it is you, then you have good reason to worry. But since I am in charge, worry is both unnecessary and counterproductive. Back off a bit and redirect your focus to me. This is my favorite part. If you wrote down the mantra, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, write this down as well. God says, I will either take care of the problem myself or show you how to handle it. I will either take care of the problem myself or show you how to handle it. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, right? You'll either handle it or show you how to handle it. And the 3 points, bang, 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 that I want you to remember in this video, I'm going to tell you about change and how to get through it, are these 3 things that there's plenty more, I'm sure of it, but these are 3 things that I have navigated in my life. And number 1 is knowing you are not alone. Always know you are not alone. I'm kind of a lone wolf, so I have family and friends, but I keep only certain people really close to me. So for a long time, I felt like I was lonely because I was a lone wolf. But when I realized that you're only lonely if you don't realize that you are never alone. You have angels protecting you. You have God protecting you. You have ancestors, powers that be, the universe, looking out for you, conspiring in your favor. But if you like the person you're alone with as well, you're never alone. So to be in solitude is a beautiful thing. That's where we really, really find answers. When we go into hermit mode and we go into meditation and we're by ourselves long enough to sit in silence and clean out the closet and get the skeletons out the closet. You know what I'm saying? Knock back the cobwebs, y'all. So know you're never alone, and especially if you work on self-love and confidence, then you're never alone because you like the person that you're with. If you love yourself, you don't mind being by yourself. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Number 2, remember all the other times that you went through changes in your life. I know some are more positive than others. They're all character building. But remember the other times you've gone through things in your life. And I think I heard Steve Harvey say this, but you have 100% survival rate. If you're sitting here listening to this, whatever it was, be it a change of environment, a change of relationship, a change in health, a change in financial status, a, plot twist type deal change in your life, something super unexpected, just remember all the other times that you've gotten through things. Write them down if you have to. That's why journaling is so important, because you can go back and you can reflect on the things that you've already overcome in your life. And that gives you confidence and courage to keep moving forward, because if you can reflect and give yourself credit. My therapist talked to me a lot about this in the extensive therapy I did for like 18 months. Why don't I give myself credit? Well, that comes back to self-worth and believing in yourself. If you're a train, choo-choo, you just keep it moving, choo-choo. Nobody can stop a train. You don't stop long enough to realize what all you've already accomplished, to give yourself credit for the trials you've already overcome, to look at where you are in your life right now at your journey, and then think about a year or 2 ago. So if you have a journal to go back and look on, you know that there were other times that you've managed to chin it up, buttercup, and that, when you only saw one pair of footprints, the footprints prayer poem, it's when he carried you. It's why at the most difficult times in my life, the poem says, why at the most difficult times in my life, he's asking God, do I only see one set of footprints in the sand? And God's answer was, because, my dear child, we're at your weakest moments is when I carried you. Isn't that beautiful? So remember that. All right. And number 3, this too shall pass. Even if it's a good change, y'all, this is what I want to point out, because I'm not talking about character building moments. Even if you say you get a job promotion and you get to move to a city you really, really wanted to live in, that is still stressful, right? And packing up all that stuff and moving all your utilities and getting your stuff like maybe cross country, unboxing it all, setting it all up, getting back into a routine. That's a good change, but it can be stressful and overwhelming and exhausting. Am I right? Show me some love if I'm right. It can be exhausting, but just remember this too shall pass. You'll get through it. You'll get settled in just like every other time you moved and got settled in. Remember? So, when I say this too shall pass, another thing I wanted to point out on this video as I close is when we think about change, there's always a change in the wind, there's a change in the tides. Think about an ocean. It ebbs and flows. The tide goes in and the tide rolls out. The tide rolls in and the tide rolls out. And it's constantly changing. And, you know, pretend you're a surfer in a video game. You have to learn how to roll with the tide that goes in and out. Roll with the tide. I love this. I didn't mean to have my roll tide on. Roll with the tide and ride the waves and change. You have to roll with the tide and ride the waves. I used to have this on a vision board. It was like a picture that I pulled out of an old calendar that was all tropical scenes. And it was this big, I have it. I wish I had it to show you all to reference. But it was in my office years ago, like 2021. And I took Sharpie and I wrote on this, you know, piece of poster or a piece of calendar that I'd ripped out, you know, with the old dates were on the bottom. And I wrote on it, roll with the tide and ride the waves. And we do, just like a surfer, like in a video game, or a surfer out there on the ocean, you know, you don't catch a wave. Like when the wave comes through, you better catch it, baby. Break point, right? And if you get in that wave and you have not determined how to roll with the tides or how to ride the wave, then you're off balance. What happens when you're off balance on a surfboard, fam? You crash. Crash and burn, baby. Wipe out. Such is life. Such is life. That's why you have to learn to roll with the tide and ride the wave. Especially when you got a big one coming in. It might be scary. Hey, change. Goes back to that. I love how that just came full circle and prepare that. But if you learn how to ride the wave, then you get a big one coming in. You catch that puppy? Shoot. You get in, what's that called in the center? I don't surf. I find it fascinating, but let's look it up. Center of riding a wave. What is the center of a wave called? The midpoint. Trough, the bottom of the wave, midpoint, the middle of a wave, in between the crest and the trough. Oh look, somebody got a picture here too. Well, that's neat. So anyways, yeah, you got to get at the midpoint. That's like being in the eye of the storm. You know, when they get in that big wave, oh my gosh, I'd love to surf. That's one of the things I've never done, but I would like to do it. Yeah. Anywho, I'll put that on my bucket list. But that's how I feel about change, y'all. It's the only thing that's constant in life. The only thing constant in life is change. 3 things that you must remember when you're going through change. Whether it's an exciting change that you were looking forward to, or it's a change that you did not ask for or expect. Oh, that's one last thing. Ding, 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 ding. Pro tip, when the change comes, don't resist it. Don't resist it. It's inevitable. What you resist persists. So if you're resisting the change, you're fighting it, you're not riding the wave. You're not rolling with the tide. You know? Can you catch a wave another time? Sure. Why do you think the surfers keep going back out there? So, you know, you might miss it that first time around, but that's just because that wasn't the right way for you to ride. Baby, that's not the right way for you to surf. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. So, it's your girl, soul sister, Shelly. Look, reporting from, where's my mic? Reporting from, I don't have my mic. I don't have my gold mic, but I have my gold cup. Reporting to you all from Kentucky Lake. I hope that helps someone. Oh, I was going to reiterate the 3 things. Remember that you're not alone when you're going through change. Remember all the other times that you've gone through changes and you've managed to overcome. And, you know this too shall pass. Change is inevitable, just the same way as trials and tribulations are inevitable. And the scripture that I'll close with that they actually referenced two. Luke 12:22, I marked them. Luke 12:22, and then John 16:33. But Luke 12:22 says, and he said to his disciples, therefore I tell you, do not be anxious about your life, what you will eat, nor about your body, or what you will put on. See, anytime that I read something in a devotion, y'all, just so you know my method, I always highlight it and then date it. So it says 6/7/24. But then it goes on to say, do not worry, for life is more than food, and the body more than clothing. Consider the ravens, they neither sow nor reap, they have neither storehouse nor barn, and yet God feeds them. Of how much more value are you than the birds? And the last in 25, or Luke 12:25, and which of you, by being anxious, can add a single hour to his lifespan? Change is inevitable, and to worry is to waste. You're not going to... Thing I know about change, what did I write down? Where's that at? That was funny. I said, the one thing constant in life is change. You can't change change. You can't change the fact that change is going to happen. You can't change change. You can't change. All right, and the other one was John 16:33 for all my comeback kings and queens, my phoenixes. I have said these things to you that in me you may have peace. Peace, love, and joy, baby. Peace, love, and joy. The keys to an abundant life. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart. I have overcome the world. And for those of you who don't know, this is the New Gideon Bible. This is the one that you find like in hotels and such. I have a King James version over here. Oh, look it. It has footprints on it. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't think about that. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. See, I didn't make that up, fam. I didn't make that up. But anyways, that's King James, and I sometimes read NIV, but I got this in the hospital in February when my dad was in ICU from a motorcycle wreck. And I didn't, he was the one who had to tell me, like, that's the New Gideon Bible. I'm like, what's the New Gideon Bible? He said, it's the one that's in all the hotel rooms. So it's pretty simple and in layman's terms, and I don't know what, oh, there's a blue heron. Oh, it's ESV, English Standard Version. So that's easy to start with. It's only the New Testament, but it's a great quick go-to. All right? So embrace the change, roll with the tide, roll tide, and ride the wave. That's how you get through change. And remember your mantra for the day. If you haven't written it down yet, now's the time. If you have it memorized already, good. Go throughout your day and say that to yourself. But the morning mantra on this Friday, June 7th, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. All right? So I love you all. I hope that helped someone. If it did, like and share, subscribe if you feel so called to do so. And I love you all, and I share because sharing is caring. So I'm going to send you all good vibes. Good vibes. Hella good vibes. Peace, love, and joy. Go enjoy your day. Be grateful, thankful, and blessed. I love you all so much. Mwah, 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 mwah. Smooches. I'm going to go paint some rocks, y'all. See that? That chest has paint in it. And that's a Kentucky lake rock. And I'm going to paint it. Mwah. Smooches. Enjoy your day.